Okay, girls, so now that we have set up our playfield and our backboard, it's time to start adding some images that go with our theme that you've decided to choose for your pinball machine. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Google, and I have decided to go with a Wonder Woman theme. So I'm going to look for the Wonder Woman logo. So I'm going to Google that, and then I'm going to select images, so I only get images. And girls, what you want to do is we want to filter these images so that we get high quality images. So the way that we do that is we go to Tools, and if you select Size and click Large, now that will make sure that we only get images that are of a higher quality, so they're not going to be pixelated or fuzzy. So girls, I quite like this one here, this Wonder Woman logo, and that looks like a pretty good quality image to me. So what we're going to do is I want you to right click on this image, and I want you to save image as. I don't want you to copy it. We're going to save it. Okay, so click Save Image As, and this menu will drop down. Okay, if you get this smaller one, all right, that's not a problem. Just click on this little arrow here, and that will give you some more options. So I'm going to just save it to the desktop, and I'm going to call it Wonder Woman logo. And then we're just going to press save. And it might want to download down here, girls, but we're not going to worry about that. Just leave that for now, and I want you to open up Photoshop. So if I open this up, I've got my playfield and my backboard still open. But what we're going to do, girls, is I want you to go up to File, Open. And we're going to look for that image that I saved, so Wonder Woman logo. And I'm going to click on that, and we're going to press Open. Now it's going to open in a separate tab, okay? And we're going to do some editing here, and then we're going to add it back in. Okay, so girls, you want to select images that have a white background, okay? The reason being is because it's much easier to take away that white background and only be left with the image, so the logo here, okay, so that it looks a bit more professional when we're making up our pinball machine. So when you're selecting images, try and get ones that have white backgrounds as opposed to patterns or other images in the background, even black, okay. Most images will have white, so try and get one that has white in the background. All right, so we want to get rid of this white so that we just are left with the logo. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come over to our layers over here, and this little padlock is locking the layer at the moment. So I actually want to unlock that by clicking on the padlock. Okay, so now I can edit this layer. So what we need to do, girls, is we need to then go up to Select and click on Color Range. Now, girls, we get this little eyedropper on the end of our mouse here. All right, what we want to do is I want to just click anywhere where there is white, okay? And that will tell the computer that I want to get rid of that particular color. So I'm going to click on the white, and then I'm going to press OK. So we get these little ant-looking things running around our image, okay? Now it hasn't quite gone to the edge of my picture there, so what we're going to do is we're going to edit it a little bit before we get rid of the white. Okay, so what you're going to do, girls, is we need to come over here to this tool which is called the Quick Selection tool. So I'm going to click on that. And up the top here, we have a few options. So you can either plus or minus this quick selection. Okay, so if I click on the plus, okay, now at the moment my stars, which are white, currently have little ants running around them. Now, what that will mean is that it will take that white away or out of those stars, which I think I want the white in the stars. So I'm going to get rid of those ants running around the stars. So if I click on the minus, and I'm just going to click near my stars or on top of them, and you can see the little ants are disappearing from the stars. Okay, now around my circle here, it's also not right on the edge, okay? So what I want you to do, girls, is we're going to try and move that, okay? Not by clicking the minus, but by clicking the plus, okay? So we're going to just plus, okay, and just get as close as you can to the edge. Okay, like so. And, oh, there we go. Beautiful. So if I have a look at my shape, girls, it's going right around that red, which is going to give me a nice crisp line. Okay, so once you're happy with that, girls, what you're going to do is you're going to press the delete key on your keyboard. Okay, so that has now removed the white from the background. And as you can see, my stars are still white, which is excellent. Okay. Now, girls, what you want to do is you want to come over to the left-hand side and click on our, this one is called the Move tool. Okay. So I want to have the Move tool selected. And what you're going to do, girls, is we're going to click on our picture here and we're going to drag it, and I'm going to keep dragging until I get to my backboard, and then I'm going to let go. And that's a really simple way of getting your image into the document that you want it to get into. Okay, now girls, you might find that your image is a little bit small. Okay, so we want to make it a little bit bigger, or you might want to make it a bit smaller. The easiest way to do this, girls, okay, is to have the layer selected that has your image on it. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up to Edit and go all the way down to Transform, and we're going to press Scale. Okay, so then this box appears around your shape. Okay, now you can use these boxes on the corners or at the center points to increase or decrease the size of your shape. Now, girls, if you just move it like this, okay, it could get out of proportion. Okay, so my circle is now an oval, and I want it to be a circle. The easiest way, girls, to keep it a circle is to, while you are moving it, hold down the Shift key, which will automatically make it go larger or smaller in proportion to the original shape. So I might want to make it just a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to let go. And this center line is also going to help me to line up my logo. Now I think I'm going to add some text a little bit later, okay, to the top here. So I'm going to have my logo just here. And then once you're happy with it, girls, now if your picture looks a little bit pixelated, which mine does, okay, once you press this tick up the top here, okay, that pixelation will go away, and your image should look nice and crisp. Okay, so if I click this tick, there we go, it's looking nice and crisp, and my edges are beautiful. You can still move it, girls, so if I'm on this Move tool, I can move it up and down or across if you're not quite happy with the positioning of it. But as I said, use that center line so you can line things up and make it all look beautiful and symmetrical. Okay, so that's how you add an image and edit the image, girls. Remembering that it is a good idea to choose images that have a white background so you can remove that background and put it onto your colored background for the playfield or the backboard. And it will just look a little bit more professional and will give you a better result.